Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League is probably everything what's wrong with current day gaming and the shift into the live service games that big publishers want to shove down our throats for the last couple of years. Is Suicide Squad really bad? Yes. Is it really as bad as everyone claims it to be? No, not really. I played worse. But the biggest problem in here is probably the fact that it was created by Rocksteady, creators of Arkham Trilogy. But the people responsible for Arkham games are long gone, and this is created by a completely new crew, but only the name was left unchanged, the Rocksteady. So, as the game title suggests, you're going to kill the Justice League as Suicide Squad. Instead of getting you the Flash game or Superman game that people been asking, like, it seems like since forever at this point, you get to kill them and watch your protagonists attempt to piss on their corpses. I'm not joking. Everyone in the Justice League has been taken control of by Brainiac, except Wonder Woman. And you are tasked with killing them all. Pretty straightforward. Amanda Waller is in the game, she's very unlikable, as she should be. All 4 members of Suicide Squad are fine. The main problem is that they never shut the fuck up. The constant talking and one-liners that writers thought are funny will drive you crazy. And the whole game is very disrespectful towards the heroes like Flash, Batman, Green Lantern, and even towards the Superman. It's very respectful towards Wonder Woman. The only character in the entire game that is actually respected by the game and its creators is Wonder Woman. Although she is still very unlikable in this story, the writers also don't understand the source material that they are basing this game off, and they didn't do any amount of research before writing the story. But if it comes to the story, there is more to unpack here later. So let me start with this. The gameplay is mediocre, monotonous, and the visual diarrhea on the screen is going to make your eyes bleed. Yes, I need my entire screen flashing when I lose too much shield or health because I'm too stupid to see the bar on the top of the screen. This game treats its players like complete idiots. Gameplay is pretty straightforward, and it doesn't really change even a little as you progress through the game. Depending on who you choose to play as, you are going to have the same set of moves from the start till the very end, and even during the end game. If you play alone, you can swap between characters. If you aren't in any mission or any challenge, you get Harley Quinn, Deadshot, King Shark, and Boomerang. Yeah, all of them use guns, and melee attacks are so poor that if you even think about going full melee in this game against the enemies, forget about it. You have to use all sorts of rifles, SMGs, snipers, miniguns, shotguns, everything. Yes, there is nothing more fulfilling than seeing the Captain Boomerang with his favorite weapon, a shotty. Personally, I played majority of the game as Harley Quinn, because her moveset is very reminiscent of the Spider-Man games, and I felt like swinging through the city is very pleasant, so that's why I chose to play as Harley. Although during side challenges I had to switch to Boomerang at few challenges because you couldn't finish them as Harley Quinn. The biggest problem of Harley's gameplay is the auto-aim for the grappling hook. Sometimes it actually does what it wants to do instead of what you want it to do. The grappling hook is not going to fly towards the edge you are seeing in front of you and you are aiming at, and no, it's not too far. I played the game and I know the capabilities of the grappling hook. It's going to go and hook you to the ledge that is behind your back. Technically the game is kinda bad, but I did see worse. It works. I did encounter some bugs. Twice I had to reset my game because I couldn't progress, and I don't know if the game broke or was it the server problem. My connection was fine. I checked both times it happened. One time I had the game just forgot to spawn any enemies and objective was finished and the game just stuck in the place and I could just hop around, but the story wouldn't move forward. And the second one, I clicked X too fast when the characters didn't stop talking, and somehow the game turned in on the cutscene and it started lagging and losing sound and finally froze as the sound continued, so I had to reset the entire game. Also, during the Green Lantern boss fight, I had this pleasure of getting my audio logging and sounding just like this.
Good call, Bruce. The insurgents came right through me.
Good. Just don't underestimate them like the Flash did.
But that one just stabilized on its own and I didn't have to reset my game, fortunately. Also, I was playing on Xbox Series X, and during the traveling through the city outside of the missions, I had pretty serious frame drops. That shouldn't have happened, but they did. The mission design is very uninspired, boring, repetitive. You have escort missions, rescue civilians missions, defeat enemies missions, and destroy big cannon missions, and all of them are repeated throughout the game as the main quest and as a side content and as the end game. And if you think that the end game content is any different, here is the information. You just got it. Don't kid yourself. It won't be different, and you'll get the same missions over and over and over that you had present before. There's only maybe like 5 types of enemies in this game. The third one joins when you finish the first boss fight. The fourth and fifth one join. I got them only around when I arrived at endgame, and nothing more gets introduced. In fact, the game is so repetitive that the last boss fight in the story mode is the same as the first boss fight you had in the game. Why is it even constructed like this? It has to, so it can be profitable live service game. There is nothing for the creators to do when they will add more content each season. It will be randomly generated trash content that looks and plays exactly the same. I will compare this one to Babylon's Fall, where levels were unimaginative, repetitive and bland, because every week there had to be new levels added for sieges and new skirmishes, and the story levels had to be added with each and every season. So they looked exactly the same, so creators could just cook up a few bullshit storyline cutscenes on the spot with a low budget on it, and the rest of the content was randomly generated just for you to consume. And this game works exactly the same. Endgame unlocks only new tiers of loot that weren't obtainable before, and you can drop, buy, enhance weapons and chips and everything else. Like Poison Ivy can upgrade your bat so you can freeze the enemies with a heavy bat slam, which is actually pretty cool. I used it a lot. Outside of that, you will travel to Earth 2 through the incursions, and you will repeat the same missions that you have in your world in Earth 2 mode, and that's it. You can only up your difficulty, which makes some enemies more of a bullet sponges, and maybe sometimes they will add 1 or 2 more brutes. They are ready to have 12 seasons of this game on this small map of Metropolis. Good luck, I guess. There is also Ubisoft collectibles in the game. If you are a completionist, you're going to have to pick up Riddler trophies, complete Riddler's challenges, and solve riddles. I still don't know why Riddler actually wants me to finish the time trials when you have to jump through the circles as in Superman 64, but fine, it's probably the most fun thing that I did in this game anyway, so congrats. Finally, there is an in-game shop where you can spend your real-life money for some shitty-looking skins that I wouldn't even want for free. I browsed through it, and it's probably the most scummy and pathetic cash grab I've seen in the video game in my life. You get packs that you can buy, but listen, I'm going to introduce it on Harley Quinn's skins. You can buy a skin for Harley, the standard one that costs $10. Fine. But you can also buy the deluxe package for the skin for $15, where you get more colors for the set, and you can also buy the legendary package for $20 when you get all the variants of the skin. I've never seen such a scammy practices of buying skins for skins. There are people complaining about Fortnite skin shop, but you at least get the variants in price. But this is the new low. You actually have to pay for skins to skins. Like, seriously, where are we going with this? And if it comes to the emotes, they don't even show you sometimes what are you going to buy. They just show you the regular pose of the hero and that's it. They couldn't even manage to get Cash Shop to work properly. So at this point, let me get back to the story. I will continue it here because we are entering the spoiler territory. If you don't want to hear any spoilers, I'm giving you out right now. This is your warning. There are some certain things from the story spoilers that we have to address in the review, unfortunately. So here we go. I did mention that the game is really disrespectful towards its heroes and the lore, and let me start with the fact that the creators don't know anything about the source material. They completely screwed up how Green Lantern's ring and Lasso of Truth works. People still lie under the influence of Lasso. Captain Boomerang straight up says that Flash's finger just came off, despite the fact that he cut it off, where he should have just said, I cut it off by accident, because this is how Lasso works. But okay, let's go to the more important stuff. When we get to the first boss fight, and the first one is the Flash, who saves you in the game twice. Our protagonist treat him like shit and cause him to be brainwashed by Brainiac. After being saved, Suicide Squad has to kill the Flash, and Boomerang decides to take a piss on his corpse because he doesn't like him, and I guess Flash put him in behind bars. And at this point I was still of the opinion, like, okay, the Suicide Squad game, they wouldn't be like respectful towards the heroes, they hate these heroes, but it gets worse, and it gets worse much quicker than one could anticipate. As you progress through the game, it's not a one-time thing to establish Boomer as an idiot, as a degenerate. It seems like the writer's attitude was just to disrespect all 4 members of Justice League, because Wonder Woman at least gets praise and respect. Green Lantern is also killed, and after that King Shark just rips his finger off, takes off his ring, wears it, gets lantern powers, which isn't how Green Lantern's ring even work, but writers don't know that, and they don't care. What should have happened, the ring should have just fly away on its own to find someone worthy. But also, if Lantern turns evil, the ring should abandon them on its own. Green Lantern is left in boxers, dead, to humiliate him even more. Everything is played as a joke by the writers, and if you think it's more of a James Gunn Suicide Squad type of thing, you are wrong. James Gunn knows how to write jokes and knows how humor works, and also he knows when to be serious. Here it feels like any good thing that this story has going for it gets ruined in seconds by some backhanded joke that misses completely and makes you only shake your head with disbelief. After Lantern's death, there is a one good scene in the game that wasn't completely ruined by these juvenile writers. Evil Superman protecting Brainiac's ship from the nuclear missile, and the music that accompanies this scene is greatly chosen for this one.
Waller, always taking the nuclear option.
Not even mad at this point.
Just that now in your nerves.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, go Superman! Oh, fuck, it's Superman!
But after this, we are going back to sloppy gameplay, stupid one-liners, and juvenile characters. Wonder Woman gets killed by Superman. She never gets turned evil. Our characters actually get really sad because Wonder Woman died. Her death is not played for jokes like flashes or lanterns. After that, we get to Batman, which is another uninspired battle where giant Batman throws waves of fire at you running around on a small platform. I'm not joking, but he's not instantly killed off. He's taken hostage, and after they are done with him, creating a way for Suicide Squad to kill the Superman, Harley Quinn assassinates him like a bitch on a bench to lure Superman to them. and the revolver actually drops the shell. He is also disrespected in a different way before the battle with Batman. We get into the Batman's cave and we get the confirmation that Nightwing is in fact dead. He was killed by Batman. And the last message from sane Batman plays in game, and squad of idiots starts to rewind the speech about how to defeat all the League members because it's boring and they already did that. And it's all played for jokes. And this is supposedly the same Batman we had in Arkham games, and the last appearance of Kevin Conroy, who everyone uses to dogpile on this game even more as the game disrespects him by killing him off like that. Kevin Conroy recorded his lines. He knew what the game was going to be like. He agreed to this. So don't try to use this man as a victim. He isn't a victim. Did he deserve better? Yes, he did. But he did sign on this game and recorded all his lines. Killing of Superman is also pathetic. He gets bodied by four nobodies. A Superman. The whole Justice League had so many occasions to kill them all on the spot, but the plot armor is strong with these ones. Flash literally kills Lex Luthor by ripping his heart out of his chest in split second, but not Suicide Squad members. Brainiac is the last boss in the game, who our squad defeats without any problem. He uses only Flash's movesets because that's like they couldn't come up with anything original. His death at the end is played also for jokes, as our protagonists throw him around in the ball between each other as he suffocates. But the most important thing is that this ending isn't really an ending. Brainiac wants to say something when he sees Lex Luthor from the Earth 2, but Waller kills him instantly. And the game has no ending because this wasn't our Brainiac, it was the Brainiac from a different Earth. So you see, they tell us that they want us to kill 13 Brainiacs to kill Brainiac. We killed one. That's not from our Earth. He's from the parallel universe. So there are only 12 more seasons of content of dog shit that you will happily engage with a gameplay this tedious and to see the real ending of the game. And now, a few more words about the writers disrespecting the characters. If you are going to enter the character descriptions in the Codex tab, you have 5 members of Justice League: Flash, Lantern, Superman, Batman. 3 of them are straight up disrespectful. The Superman one is probably written by King Shark, I guess, who is a Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy in this game. He is dumb but very honorable for the most part. Boomer shits on Flash. Deadshot insults Green Lantern as he is from the White Fence home and he's Space Cop. And Harley says that Batman is a softie. Wonder Woman, however, is written by Lex Luthor, and it reads like this. From the files of Lex Luthor. I'm prone to wild imaginings. As a man of science, speculation is how my brain finds leisure and the closest thing it knows to play. But there's little amusement to be found in imagining how improved Earth would be if, instead of forcing the Amazons into hiding with our cruelty and avarice, we had instead looked to them as a model, replicable. If only we could set aside our baser instincts. They have solved so many of our society's ills: broken democracy, lagging technology, toxic masculinity, and thus they flourish through higher learning, mutual aid, and governance, without cruelty. They are a golden society who deserve to be as secret as they are. Enter Wonder Woman, so named, I assume, because one wonders why a woman of her caliber and ancestry would leave the paradise to play in the mud with us. In the league, she is a beacon of a rational thought paired with profound empathy, of strength and kindness in equal measure. She's a hero, more so than any who surround her. Still, her very presence in the league makes me consider whether if Wonder Woman turned her lasso on herself, a different story would emerge. One of a person who craves the brutality, crudeness, and our world, who left her equitable sisterhood for an exclusive brotherhood, and whose own heart is more aligned with a maddened billionaire and overpowered alien than any of Themyscira's queens. Perhaps the Amazons are the Golden Society, and we have been given their worst. So he's praising her, saying that the Amazons got rid of the toxic masculinity. Yeah, because they don't have any men. That's why there is no toxic masculinity, because there is no men. You have the new 52 comic from Wonder Woman that presents the story of what Amazons do with men they seduce to reproduce and what happens if the son is born. But here Lex Luthor praises her and her people. The same Lex Luthor who hates Superman and any superheroes, but he loves Wonder Woman. They know nothing about Lex Luthor. Suicide Squad is almost cries when Wonder Woman perishes and turns to ash. It's obvious that the writers didn't want to make Wonder Woman evil. Her death is noble and not played for jokes. Our squad of idiots doesn't celebrate her death, they almost cry. Flash saved them twice from being killed or turned into Brainiac's puppets. He was really nice to them, even when they are a straight up criminals. But they kicked him around, walked on him when he was bleeding, cut off his finger, and after all, wanted to piss on his corpse. And then everyone followed with complimenting Boomerang's dick size and Harley Quinn saluting his meat. And Wonder Woman was straight up not nice to them. And they treat her like a hero. And after this piece of shit finished, the creators had the audacity to close it with "Thank you, Kevin" after credits. This is just sad. This game should not be released. This game is not in the continuity of Arkham by my standards, and that's all. This is bad game, and you can have some fun if you like slop, but I would wait till the game is going to be maybe at most $20 and 4 more seasons of content at least. That's all. The game is bad and WB should be ashamed of themselves, and Rocksteady is dead.